Business owner Dave Adcott arrived in the middle of the night. His company is the world leader in providing software automation that allows most of the major banks to be compliant. Trading floors and financial institutions from Hong Kong to New York rely on the service 24 hours a day.
We're an automation company and we automate things for banking, and we use our own automation software to make sure all our equipment is backed up and our software is backed up. So all of that ran correctly before the fire, which we're back up and running within a few hours.
So you've lost the building, but your business is still 100% working?
Absolutely. No one has been injured. This is just bricks and mortar. In fact, my team have been up and running in the middle of the night, making sure that our customers are still working as they should be.
Dave's now looking for alternative office space for his 30 staff, but until then they can continue working from home thanks to the magic of cloud storage. Because of the nature of this business, disruption has been minimal, and perhaps it's a lesson for all of us about why we need to back up important data and information. An investigation into what caused the fire is now underway, but considering the eyewitness accounts from the staff working late last night, foul play is not suspected. Richard Slee, ITV News, Waterlooville.
In other news, after 13 months at sea, sailors of HMS Mersey have returned home to Portsmouth. Families cheered as the Royal Navy patrol ship arrived this morning. It left Portsmouth in January last year and has since visited 32 ports in 19 countries, helping tackle people trafficking and drug smuggling. Last April, the ship helped the US Coast Guard seize cocaine with a street value of £12 million off the coast of Nicaragua.
16 bales of cocaine were recovered and taken back on board HMS Mersey, along with 3 suspected drug smugglers, who we subsequently handed over to the US Coast Guard.
I did the whole trip, so I sailed with the ship last January. We did the Caribbean, been to places that I wouldn't go to normally. It's all been brilliant.
The ship is absolutely bouncing. It's on fantastic spirits at the moment. The crew are really pleased, and to see the smiles coming over the gangway as they get to see their friends and family, it's a big part of naval life, and everyone's really proud to have us back. It's a great reception.
Driver arrested after a pedestrian was killed on the A27 in Lancing has been released without charge. A 59-year-old man from Sompting was struck by a car at 6 o'clock yesterday morning. He was treated by paramedics but died at the scene. A man from Climping was detained on suspicion of causing death by careless driving.
A church choir conductor has been jailed for 6 years for sexually abusing a teenage boy. 57-year-old David Everett from Bournemouth met his victim through his connections with the Priory Church Choir in Christchurch.
A man and a woman have been rescued by the crew of a White Link ferry after their boat capsized in the Solent. The couple in their 40s was suffering from hypothermia and taken to hospital. The RNLI later retrieved their 16-foot boat.
A new housing development in Hampshire has come under fire from parents who say the development will make walking to school unsafe for their children.
700 new homes are planned northwest of Fleet in an area known as Elvertham Chase. Parents claim local roads are already overloaded.
But the developer says it will include a new school and many road improvements. Kerry Johnston has more.
It's a walk to school which many parents say has already become an unacceptable obstacle for their children, dodging vehicles in what is one of the busiest stretches of roads in the morning commute. These pictures were filmed by parents themselves, who say a proposed new housing development near Fleet will only make matters worse.
700 houses in this area, and most houses will have more than 2 cars. You know, a couple of thousand cars extra on our road when we're already dodging traffic every single day is just not acceptable.
My concerns are basically the safety of the children when they have to cross the roads here to get to school.
Pollution levels are going to go up really high. Myself and one of my children actually have asthma, and I know that that's going to be severely affected.
This development doesn't actually come with the infrastructure to support it, and that's our major concern.
But houses have to go somewhere, don't they?
Absolutely, and we're not NIMBYs. What we're saying is put the houses in the right place. We know we need houses.
And this is what it's all about, a large plot of land which borders the M3 on that side and the railway line over here, with great transport links to London and the southeast. From a developer's point of view, it's prime real estate. Waits Developments say their proposal has been well thought out. They envisage safe areas for kids to play, as well as hundreds of much-needed homes for families to live in. In a statement, they said, as well as new homes, the scheme will include a new primary school, a community bus service, a village centre and green, with major investment provided for infrastructure, such as road improvements and secondary school expansion. Meanwhile, councillors who will eventually vote on the matter already have mixed views.
Well, it's really good to see new houses coming into the area because it's so desirable. One of my concerns, though, is a lot of residents are worried about the location of this particular development.
I think it's completely the wrong location, and I can openly say that I am against it and have been from the outset. You also need to listen to residents' concerns, which hasn't been done in this case.
Hart District Council says it's taking on board comments both for and against the scheme, including concerned parents. The matter is due to be discussed at a planning meeting next month. Kerry Johnston, ITV News, Fleet.
More news from around our region now, and a man has been jailed for 3 months for 8 counts of fly tipping in Wiltshire. The 27-year-old from Salisbury illegally disposed of waste at several locations across the county, including areas of outstanding natural beauty.
More than 150 tyres have been dumped in a country lane near Waterlooville. They were found between Hinton Daubney and Broadways Lane this morning. The local council is appealing for information.
Drivers misusing a level crossing in West Sussex are to be targeted by new number plate recognition cameras. Incidents at Yapton include a motorist driving onto the track, causing 21 trains to be cancelled. Other drivers jump red lights, weave around barriers and queue over the crossing.
A new 10-screen cinema has opened in Southampton today. The Showcase Cinema Deluxe is part of the new West Quay Watermark development and has created 165 new jobs. It's the second new cinema to open here on the South Coast this week. Last night was the gala opening of the new Odeon at the BH2 Leisure Complex in Bournemouth.
You're watching ITV News here in the Meridian region. Thank you for choosing us. Coming up, Andrew will have a preview of the weekend sport and Simon will be here. But will he bring snow this weekend? We'll find out. Plus...
well, we hope not. Plus, why taking the plunge in an icy lake can be more beneficial than time spent in the gym.
No thanks. For more on all of our stories, you can head to itv.com/Meridian. Any views or news, contact us on 0808 10 10 095 or get in touch via Facebook or Twitter.
More news. A consultation's been launched in a bid to improve the care of people suffering from congenital heart disease. The cardiac unit at the University Hospital in Southampton is one of the largest in the UK, performing around 1,600 operations a year. NHS England would like to see surgeons do a minimum of 125 cases a year.
It's important to stress that services in this country are safe. Very important to stress that, and people shouldn't be concerned about the safety of services. However, having said that, these operations are becoming increasingly complex as we get better at helping children survive into life with congenital heart disease, and surgeons are operating on hearts that are often the size of a walnut, so very small organs. Understandably, these procedures become more and more complex.
Hampshire County Council has today stepped in to keep the ferry service between Hythe and Southampton running while there's a change of ownership. The council says emergency funding has been provided, but it's not revealed how much. The service across Southampton Water is seen as an important route for commuters and shoppers.
Man's been arrested at Gatwick Airport on suspicion of preparing terrorist acts. The 44-year-old from Hertfordshire was detained after getting off a flight from Iraq.
Now, coping with Alzheimer's is a huge challenge, not only for people with the illness, but also for those caring for loved ones.
Well, now a new play tells the story of how a robot helps a woman struggling with the condition. But behind the drama lies a possible glimpse of healthcare in the future. Richard Lawrence has more.
Is everything okay?
I can't find Raymond.
He's not here.
Oh, I know that. Obviously, he's not anyone.
In the play, Raymond was Sally's husband, who enjoyed making robots, and before he died, he made this one uploaded with memories to keep Sally company as she grapples and deteriorates with Alzheimer's. People with dementia lose their short-term memory. The robot's ideal for the constant repetition of answering the same questions.
He's not here.
It's a condition of Alzheimer's that they need the repetition. They ask the same old thing because the memory is very limited. So, yeah, he's a good guy. I got very fond of him, actually.
Well, this, of course, is the all-important star of the show. It's Raybot, the robo-thespian, is that right?
Yes.
So what's it like working with humans?
Humans have very small brains and are quite unreliable, which can be frustrating. But humans I work with are very nice, and I've become fond of them despite their limitations.
So what do you do in your time off?
I mostly lie in my flight case, but I do like to go clubbing if given the opportunity. I'm very much into dubstep and early house music.
The robot was developed by Engineered Arts, a company that creates them for leisure attractions and exhibitions worldwide. His role is timely, given the growth in voice-activated phones and household devices.
Yes.
It's all happening. We wrote this 2 years ago and we were sort of future guessing, but the future is coming a bit too fast for us. We were sort of thinking that actually it's probably, I mean, for my generation, I feel silly talking to my phone as if it's a person. I think I'd probably feel silly just shouting into the air. But if there was a thing in the room with eyes, I mean, I talk to my dog all the time, and I anthropomorphise my dog, so I guess I would end up doing the same with a robot.
Your carer can find your phone. She'll know where it is.
Do you see a role for robots in care?
We've been discussing this a lot, and I see it, yes, I do, but not as a replacement, but as a companion for somebody, to replace somebody who has to repeat, because we all run out of energy of repeating. So for somebody perhaps in the night that can say, it's okay, that's here, this is there, I can help you, or I can call somebody.
Sally and the robot develop quite a bond. It may seem an unlikely love story, but it asks very real questions. Richard Lawrence, ITV News.
It's 14 minutes past 6. Time to find out what's making the headlines on the ITV Evening News. Let's go to London now and Charlene White.
The government scraps an official inquiry into claims of abuse by British soldiers in Iraq. A damning report said the £60 million investigation directly harmed the UK's defence. The number of cancelled operations in the NHS in England reaches a 15-year high, and can you look this good on the dance floor? We'll have details of a study that might just help you out. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
We will, and let's continue that musical theme, because the right piece of music can always help to lift your spirits. I'm sure you'll agree with that. But one school has taken this to a whole new level. The children have starred in their very own music video.
But it's not all about the music. The aim was to raise awareness about well-being and create positive feeling amongst youngsters.
Yes, it's called The Power in You. Fran Lanuri went to meet the people behind the project.
I've got the power in me. You've got the power in you. I've got the power, got the power in me.
Empowering words. These school children are using pop music to spread a little positivity. But behind the glamour of rock and roll is a serious message about how to cope with negative feelings and pressure at school.
It's about us giving them the skills that are going to last them through life and hopefully equip them to deal with life's ups and downs.
Spending a school day pretending to be a pop star certainly put everyone in a good mood, and the message behind the music was heard loud and clear.
You sometimes think, oh, I can't do this, I'll just give up. But you have to be positive about it and think about how you can make it better.
Even when things become hard, there's always a bright side and you can learn from your mistakes. We know what to do when someone is hurt. We will help them. That's the power in me.
Awareness about the mental well-being of children is growing, but mental health experts say it's something we need to talk more about.
And I'm lacking inspiration.
There's evidence now to say that in any classroom you go to, there will be 2 or 3 youngsters who are likely to develop mental health problems later on. So the sooner that we can find them, reach them and give them support, the better.
Those behind the music videos say this kind of group project is the perfect way to get children to think about these issues.
The lyrics are so powerful that it speaks for itself, but also I suppose you don't realise that you're actually, learning along the way.
The song, written and sung by music teacher Rebecca Lawrence, has now become the school's anthem, so it's one they'll be hearing a lot.
Children wear their heart on their sleeve all the time, and you can see it in their faces when they can't do something. And we're always talking about positive mindset and not being able to do something yet, and having that power and saying, you can, believe in yourself, and you can do the work. You can change the world.
You've got the power in you. I've got the power, got the power in me.
A positive message to give children the power to not let anything stand in their way. Fran Nuri, ITV News.
Catchy. Now let's get serious. It's the sport with Andrew Pate. Andrew, there is anger in the air.
Yeah, it's serious stuff this, you're absolutely right. Southampton's manager says his players are angry after losing at home to West Ham last week and are determined to move back up the table. They travel to Sunderland tomorrow and he told me his team won't be distracted by their next game after that, the EFL Cup final at Wembley against Manchester United.
For the moment, is just focus about the game against Sunderland because it's very difficult and very important for us. We cannot accept the lost results, and this it's important to correct and quickly. Fantastic to play a final, but it's important for the moment to stay focused about this game because for me it's an important game.
So it's Saints at Sunderland, while Bournemouth have to wait until Monday night when they host Manchester City. For Brighton, it's the 20th anniversary of Fans United, when supporters of all teams came together at the Goldstone ground as the club was about to become homeless. That day, Brighton beat Hartlepool 5-0, and midfielder Anthony Knockart is hoping home advantage does the trick again tomorrow against Burton Albion.
It's really good to have that, to think that every game at home, we could win it, and I think that's what we do. When we start every game at home, we feel so confident, and that's what pushes us forward, and that's what make us win games.
So Brighton host Burton, while Manager of the Month Jaap Stam will mastermind Reading's visit of Barnsley. Swindon could be dragged into the relegation zone if they lose at Bury, while Oxford United are pushing for the playoffs, having won 7 of their last 8. Crawley travel to Luton, while Portsmouth are looking to return to winning ways against Accrington Stanley. Anyone for Whiff Waff? Well, quite a few of us enjoy a game of table tennis, but not many show the potential which has sent a schoolgirl from Reading soaring up the rankings. Anaya Patel only started playing 2 years ago, but her talent has caught the eye of the England selectors. Chris Morn went to meet her.
Do you need some extra time, mate? Selco, sponsoring ITV Meridian Sports Report.
This is 12-year-old Anaya Patel. She's only been playing table tennis for 2 years. Now she's the #1 girl in Berkshire at under 13, under 15 and the under 18 age groups. And knowledgeable observers reckon Anaya has the potential to reach the top.
And I think she will. I think she's got a fantastic possibility just to watch her play. At the amount of time she's been playing, her standard is very, very good.
Anaya first picked up a bat at primary school. In last year's under-13 national championships, she knocked out the top seed, and she's already played for her county at senior level.
I think playing the older girls has made me stronger as well, mentally and physically, because I learned to play like them.
She's got a lot of talents, but I didn't expect her to shoot at the rankings, for example, so quick. So she's worked really hard for it.
Anaya trains at Reading's Kingfisher Table Tennis Club. Down the years, it's produced a succession of international players, including former England and Commonwealth champion Matthew Syed.
When I'm older, I want to represent England and win for them abroad. I'm not sure about the Olympics yet, but hopefully one day I'll get there.
She'll play against players that are more experienced, better than she is in some respects, but because she's an attacking player, she can live with some very, very good female players in this country.
Anaya's talent and promise was recognised at the 2016 Reading Sports Awards. Her potential suggests recognition further afield is set to follow. Chris Morn, ITV News, Reading.
Round the World sailor Alex Thompson is to be honoured with an official welcome home ceremony in Gosport tomorrow morning after his achievements in the Vendée Globe. He'll sail towards the ferry pontoon at 11 o'clock with a civic reception taking place in Falklands Gardens straight after. Thompson finished second in the Vendée Globe despite his yacht being damaged early into the race. Finally from me, a big race meeting at Newbury tomorrow, £150,000 in prize money available in the Betfair hurdle. So good luck to all those having a flutter.
Have you got a tip for us?
I thought you'd never ask. Yes, I do. It's Ballyandy. What could possibly go wrong?
Ballyandy. Here's another tip, viewers. Don't back it. Now, think back to those New Year's resolutions. Many of us pledged, didn't we, to get fitter and do more exercise.
Don't look at me.
Well,
Don't worry, though, if you didn't get round to going to the gym, because research shows that if you want to get the most out of your exercise regime, you're better off doing it outdoors instead of indoors. Here's Lauren Hall.
Yes, it's winter. Yes, it's cold. And yes, this lot really are going for a swim. They're regulars here on the Jubilee River at Taplow in Buckinghamshire.
Days like this, when it's grey and miserable, you just cannot beat the feeling that you get from the zing of the water.
It just makes me feel great.
It's the most natural thing in the world, really.
It gets rid of any of your worries, it's just fabulous.
You feel incredible for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I'm not in any way tempted to join them. As you can imagine, the water is very, very cold. But perhaps this lot are onto something, because not only are they doing exercise, but they're exercising in the great outdoors. And new research shows that's about as good as it gets in terms of physical and mental well-being.
Academics have been looking at the difference between exercising indoors and exercising outdoors. Here they're assessing a runner who's being closely monitored using an oxygen mask and psychological questionnaires. The same activity performed inside is also performed outside in a natural environment. It's all part of the Green Exercise Research Project, which has been going for nearly 15 years.
People find it easier outdoors. They also seem to get enhanced benefits of exercise per se. So that's for mood, for attention, and we even find that people want to socially interact with each other more outdoors than they would do indoors when they're doing the same exercise.
So what's interesting is with using the green exercises, you can actually look at potentially changing behaviour. So people might actually stay more motivated to exercising outdoors than they do on the repetitive nature of working or running in a gym.
Members of this running club aren't at all surprised.
I prefer coming outside, seeing different sceneries and being out in the fresh air.
Running with all these lovely people as well.
Really vary your runs when you're outdoors. When you're on a treadmill, you pretty much see the same thing all the time.
Even if it's raining, it's always you always feel better when you go back in, much more refreshed.
Much rather run outside than a treadmill.
Yeah, I'm the same probably. I mean, I don't mind running on them, but like after a while you just get bored.
Well, there's no danger of this lot getting bored. They often come here for a dip throughout the year, and they wouldn't have it any other way.
Can I tempt you to a heated swimming pool?
Absolutely not.
The fact is, doing any exercise, anywhere, is good for us. But this is how you can get the most out of it, if you can get yourself outside in the first place. Lauren Hall, ITV News.
Wouldn't want to do that. Not this weekend.
No, okay,
not this weekend.
Not the snow.
Simon's with us now.
Yes, you want to know if there's any snow on the way?
Yes, please.
There's already been some. We have photographic evidence. Look, firstly,
from Upper Basildon in Berkshire. Gary Denton sent in this picture. A
it's
few
not
big
much,
flakes
is
there.
it?
Well, it's still snow, Fred. It's still snow. Elsewhere in Berkshire, Robin Kemp took Kimmy the dog for a walk at Dorney Lake.
Yeah.
Got
Very
caught in a
nice.
blizzard. You see the white splodges?
I don't believe
That's
that.
actual snowflakes. Look, you can see. Have a look at this picture. You can see at the top the big flakes falling there, look.
yes.
And the snow is now settling. News just in.
Oh, really?
Tame Tennis Club, that's head coach Mark there, taking a selfie. Look behind, look. But in a not unrelated incident, we've also had a whole load of these coming in. Snowdrops.
Oh, yeah.
First sign of spring, they reckon. How lovely is that damp one from John Cuthbert in Hedge End? Another spring news, that's Violet's rhododendron in Hythe. Started blooming at the end of January, apparently. And have a look at this daffodil that Lynn Burton came across, randomly growing out of the bottom of a tree.
Well,
Unbelievable.
well.
And this is Barbara's amaryllis, which has bloomed with 4 heads. There you go. She says, can anyone beat it? Meridian weather at itv.com. If you can, we'd love to hear from you.
Snow or no?
Ish.
Ish. Here's the detail. Simon Parkin.
Doesn't know.
From blizzards to pool, driving through Europe. Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
Well, if you've come here looking for a change in the weather, I'm afraid you're going to be bitterly disappointed until next week, and bitterly cold into the bargain. More of this kind of thing, moody, yes, but gloomy and chilly as we head through the weekend. Basically, we've got that high pressure sitting over Scandinavia, we've got the cold air coming round it, we've got the cloud, we've got the showers that could turn wintry, but look to the south and you can see there's an area of low pressure that starts to dominate as we move into next week, and that means we're going to see slightly less cold air arriving. Monday, Tuesday, more in the way of brightness too, and whilst it won't be warm by any stretch of anyone's imagination, as I say, it won't be quite as cold as it has been. Speaking of which, very nippy again tonight, temperatures widely down into the minuses. You can see where the flashes of white are, that's where we might get a dusting of something wintry, particularly over the higher ground of the Chilterns, the Cotswolds, the Downs, possibly even Salisbury Plain. Nothing that should cause too much trouble, no weather warnings, but do be aware that there could be some slippery surfaces if they're untreated first thing tomorrow morning, because it is going to be a cold start to Saturday. Still a few showers knocking around at first. They'll fizzle out during the day. A lot of dry weather. You might, if you're very lucky, in the far west see an occasional glimpse of blue sky, but for most of us, again, it's going to be grey and cold. That northeasterly wind still nagging and raw. Temperatures no higher than around 2 or 3 degrees. So if you are heading to Newbury for the races tomorrow, coverage on ITV4, by the way, do wrap up warm because it is going to be a very chilly day. As for your high tide times, in Brighton, 11:30 in the morning, around 5 to 12 at midnight, and then Sunday, more of the same, still cold and still cloudy.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
And in just a moment, we got the ITV Evening News with Charlene White.
Nia Mason's got our late news. Do try and join her if you can. But for now, from the team here at ITV Meridian, thank you very much indeed for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Take care.
Happy weekend. Bye-bye.